The Happy Baby community, we work with asylum seeker mothers who are either 5 months pregnant or they have children under 3 years old within London area, the M25, but we also now work in Crawley because of the Gatwick hotels. Joe Doherty, who's going to speak next, started Happy Baby South in November 2018. And then we joined with another group. We weren't called Happy Baby then, we were just a group working with the Brigstock House Mothers in Thornton Heath and the Barry House Mothers from Dulwich. But we joined with another group who were doing something very similar in North London and set up the Happy Baby charity on the 18th of January 2019. When we started, Joe had managed to get a free church hall and £1,000 from the Quakers. And then I think you were probably our next people to fund. You were very early funders. We are now a charity, we've grown hugely over the past 5 years, from £1,000 to 450,000 we spent last year. Your funding is for the Thornton Heath group, which last week we had 50 mothers and 70 children. The mothers come from further than Croydon, but mainly from Best Western Croydon, Best Western Crystal Palace and Brigstock House in Thornton Heath. We spend about £200 a week on food. We cook a meal in Parchmore Church, Parchmore Road, every week. And the meal is cooked by women who are also asylum seekers, who have older children, but they come and help us in the kitchen. We took on our first staff member. We were just volunteers before. We took on our first staff member in 2019. We now have 12 staff, 50 doulas who are birth companions who work with us on a part-time basis, 180 volunteers. We're looking after 1,700 women and a couple of thousand children. And we supported 560 births last year, or 2022. And we sent 70,000 weekly texts in 2022. We keep in contact with our mums through texting to tell them about the virtual community that we have twice a week for English classes, plus we have educational, children's health, women's health, that sort of thing, contraception. Those are online. We run 5 groups a week now in Dalston, Acton, Stratford, Thornton Heath and Crawley. The perinatal service, which Joe was very involved in, has the 50 doulas who support any mother who needs a birth companion. That might be because the mothers are on their own. A lot of our mums have been trafficked, sexually trafficked, and they are alone and their families are no longer speaking to them. And they tend to be younger women. We have other families where they've got large families and the father will be looking after the children, so the doula will be with them at birth. And there's breastfeeding counsellors, perinatal callers, so once a mum has had her baby, we train our women to call them. We give them 8 weeks training so they can ring up and how are you doing, etc. Of our 180 volunteers, about 40% of them are the women themselves. And I think when we first started Happy Baby, we used to think that Happy Baby could be run by the women, entirely by the women, for the women. But we now understand that the strength of Happy Baby is the fact that we have so many of our women involved in providing the service, but we also have people who know the country, who know the networks, who know how things work, and that's the power of it. I'm just going to read a few quotes from this, which is our annual report, and then close. From the moment we arrived in the UK, feeling lost and lonely, your warm voice reached out to us. You cared for us like a family. When my twin babies were born and were in intensive care, Your constant calls and reassuring words gave us strength. Happy Baby, you are more than an organisation, you are an extended family. A second woman, I had a rough labour, and after I gave birth, I wrote Happy Baby a message. But it wasn't a regular message, it was from the soul. It gets very emotional every time I think about it, because it was the only door open for me in England. A third one, my husband has abandoned me and my baby, but your generosity has given me hope and strength to face these challenges and keep moving forward. Our strategy for the next year is to carry on doing what we're doing. We're user-led, we provide trauma-informed services, we are sustainable, we take every single referral, and that is huge because many places, things like the British Red Cross, they don't take an immediate referral, for instance, but we will. And we are volunteer-led and will remain so.